fed.
All right, hello and welcome back to Last Call with me, Riley Stapleton, and Christian McDonald. And today we are joined by Deontay Boo Smith, who's a wide receiver at the University of Missouri. If you're a Mizzou fan or you were following football this year, you probably heard about him in Mizzou's first win of the year over LSU. 6 catches in that game and a big Mizzou win that set the tone for the season. So we're glad to have you and thank you for joining us today.
Appreciate it. Thank y'all for having me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we're gonna start the interview. No, yeah, I'll go ahead and start the interview. We're gonna start the interview with Boo. The first question we'll ask him is just tell me a little about yourself and your journey coming to Mizzou.
Well, started off at JUCO for 2 years at Coffeyville Community College. Transferred over here to Mizzou with Barry Odom. Eli Drinkwitz came in. I became a walk-on. Recently earned my scholarship. Y'all the first people that know that. You know, before I posted, y'all the first people that know that.
Hey, congratulations.
Bye, we here.
So I know you said that Barry Odom brought you to Mizzou and then Drink came over and you decided to stay. Have you noticed, anything different? Or, we've seen a lot of recruits come in with the hire of Drink. What does Drink bring to the table that seems to be attracting all these players?
You said distracting or attracting?
Attracting.
Drake bring energy. That's one thing. He's smart and he bring energy. So every team needs some type of coach that keeps them fired up. And one thing about Drake, even in pressure, you don't never see him sweat. We're gonna do our job on the field. His job is to, coaching. And you got energy and comfortability. Drake's got us.
Yep. So you recently played. Like you said, recently got a scholarship, but you weren't on the team. You weren't recruited to come here. You played at JUCO and then Mid-America Nazarene. So just tell us a little about the process of coming to Mizzou, why you came, and how's it been?
It's been a long process. At first, out of high school, I was going to Mid-America Nazarene. That's why I was supposed to attend. I was there fall camp. Then I basically didn't go there my freshman year, but I was there for the fall camp or whatever. So then I sat out that year, went to Coffeyville Community College, came in late, played red shirt a year over there. After that, I was running track and played football. Got a track scholarship. I was headed to Oklahoma State. That's where I was recently at in the summer before Mizzou. But Mizzou's a lot cheaper than OSU, even with scholarship. So Oklahoma State had too much money, so I decided to come over here to Mizzou, make it easier for me with money wise. It was a risk. Said I was gonna have to be a walk-on because I was gonna go other places like Western Kentucky or somewhere where they would offer me. But came to Mizzou, walked on, and it all paid off ever since.
So one question I had was going into this season, a lot of media places, they would have had Mizzou at 6th in the SEC East, just in front of Vanderbilt. And I actually saw one article projecting us to go 0-10 and finish behind Vanderbilt. Did you guys see that? Were you aware of that? And, did that light a spark under you guys?
Yeah, we was aware of that. Everybody was aware of that. Even Coach was aware of that. That 0-10 kind of made all of us mad. I ain't gonna lie. We had
Riley, didn't you say they was going 0-10?
What?
Did you say they were going 0-10, Riley? Was that your prediction?
No, I actually did. You can find a story on Truman's Tales. My prediction, before they said it was 10 games, I was saying if we played our 8 East games, I had us at 5-3, tied to Tennessee, finishing 3rd in the East. So I actually wasn't that far off.
He wasn't finishing 3rd in the East. But we all knew, we all saw it 0-10, and then they predicted us after to win only like 2 games at the LSU. And then we won 2 games so far. So 5-4. Finish off the season. Hopefully 6-4. Winning record. New coach. 3rd in the SEC. We're gonna be straight. But that couldn't do it.
So
I guess the turning point for the season when you guys upset LSU early in the year when you guys beat them 45-41. So just talk about, I think that was like your breakout game from Mizzou as well. You had like 6 catches. Just talk about that game, what that meant for the program, and specifically for you, what did that mean for you?
Well, for me, that just meant, at first we had contact tracing, and I'm second string on depth chart. So made me have to start that game, but I just came out to play. But for the school, it was big. Everybody always talk about LSU. Then they found out, our first 2 games was Alabama, Tennessee, LSU. So we was predicted to go 0-3 off the start. I knew one of them games was going to change, especially if I had the chance to play. Something was going to turn around. And then I know the whole game, the whole city was out there. It was a packed crowd. It was much of it could be packed due to COVID. But then the game, all I know was just throw the ball, we're going to catch it. Wherever I needed to be. Connor Bazelak was doing what he needed to do. He spread the ball around. Michael Wilson to Bear Bannister, Toski Dove, Tyler Beatty, spread it all around all of us and came out with the win. Defense made a clutch stop and got that dub.
Yeah, you can ask Christian. When they added Alabama and LSU to our schedule, the first thing I said was, I know we're at least going 1-1 in those games.
He did say
I had confidence there.
I didn't believe
it. Kind of going into the game, I would have said we were underdogs. Obviously, LSU was ranked. But then kind of after the game, seeing what happened to LSU, I started to wonder on that day if we were just the better team this year. Did you guys have that mentality going into the LSU game? Did you think you were better, or did you guys have the underdog mentality?
We said we were going to win the whole game. Me and Toski Dove, we didn't even play a snap. Well, we barely played against other teams, Alabama, but we didn't even play. So the fact that me and him knew we was going to start, me and him came together and said, we got the chance, we're going to win this game. We set that confidence. We told our offense that, and we just came out there to execute it. The coach just called the plays, and we did what we could do. Just pick up first downs, keep the ball moving. Doesn't matter how good offense or defense is doing. I just know every time offense touch the ball, we trying to score. We trying to put points on the board. So I feel like we can maintain to do that. At LSU, we didn't even think we was underdog. We just said we about to win this game before it started.
Yeah. So I guess another player that played pretty well against LSU was Toski Dove, and just talk about his emergence. I think he's really emerged in some games as a number 1 weapon for Mizzou. So how's it being seeing a guy that was kind of on your level coming in and seeing both of you guys emerge? Just speak on that.
Glock. Toski Dove. We call him Glock, big Glock. No. Toski Dove, he just a guy, like the whole practice or whatever he's doing, he gonna work. That boy throws up every practice, but he gonna work. So, and one thing he probably got, y'all could probably say overrated, but he got like the best hands in the country. That man does not drop a ball. I think he dropped 1 off the season, but other than that, he finds a way to catch everything. So he be working. That's all he does. He work. He does his job and plus more. So everybody needs that job, but him coming in being just like both of us at the same time, that was our like big game, our breakout game, starting game. We just both executed and elevated to a higher level that day. So that's all.
Yeah, I know that some receivers on the team had some drops throughout the year, but I felt pretty confident that one of the most sure-handed guys we have was Toski. He definitely has good hands for sure. But you mentioned his nickname, but I guess we should probably ask, you've been called Boo Smith. Where did that come from?
Boo's my middle name. I got my second middle name. I got 4 names technically. Boo's my middle name. It stuck with me, when my grandma passed. But it always stuck with me since I was a kid. So you can find me anywhere off of Boo Smith, D Smith, but Boo Smith always stuck with me. So the crowd loved it. Boo,
yeah. So Boo, you're having a good year. You had a breakout game versus LSU. Mizzou's bringing in a lot of good talent. I think this team is going to make some noise next year. So what do you see your role next year on the team that really the expectations going to next year is to win the SEC East? Describe how do you feel like you'll fit on the team?
I feel lately, if teams, people watch Mizzou football, I'm more used with a lot of speed, deep balls, jet sweeps, and stuff like that. Coaches have now, found everybody role with how we play. We don't play too many receivers, but everybody got our role of who and how it works. So I feel like we fit. I bring the speed. Me and Jalen Knox bring the speed to the receiving core, And, you know, when you got your speed, it makes it a lot easier to do what you want to do, mismatches or eye candy, as coaches say it. So I just feel like that'll be my fit, you know, take shots, you know, just slow the defenses down some simple things like that.
So it sounds like, you know, throughout the season, you guys have been pretty confident in yourselves despite what other people think. So we're coming up on bowl season. We were talking a little bit about it before, but for the show. But if you had the opportunity to play a bowl game, do you want to play the highest ranked opponent possible? Like, do you want the opportunity just to really prove yourselves?
Yes, sir. We got the highest ranked opponent, whoever. That's who we want. We don't want nobody easy, nobody like that. They give us a bowl game, give us the best opponent. We're gonna come out there. We're gonna execute. So we're gonna do what we can do. We practice hard every day. Probably practice and run more than any team in the country because we run a lot. But give us the best opponent. You know, put us. I feel like we came short against Georgia and Florida. So, you know, give us the best opponents, and we just gonna figure out a way to execute it.
Some people say that you're fast. You said earlier that the coach knows your role as a jet sweep, or some players who wants to use your speed out the back field. We just want to know what is your 40 time. Please don't lie. We want like an official time that Mizzou said that they got it. We don't want to hear 4.2. We know you're not Tyreek, but can you give us at least a 40 time we think that you have?
Oh, my last 40 was a 4.37, and that was probably last summer. Recently with the Mizzou football team, we run 10s, 20s, and 30s. We ain't ran our 40s yet. Ennis Rakestraw got the fastest 10, but I got the fastest 20 and 30. My 30 time is a 3.4. So 10 more yards. It could have been a 4.3 low. You know, I've been working, getting faster. So hopefully I'll get it down to a 4.33, 4.34, but with the track and field, it all plays along with that 40. So it makes it easy.
Well, that's I wanted to ask, I guess you kind of answered it, but I was going to ask, if it was you or who the fastest guy on the team was. Is it you or Ennis, or are there some other names? Who's the fastest?
The fastest on the team? Oh, don't worry. The fastest on the team is me. I'm going to say that. You feel me? I'm the fastest on the team. You do have Ennis Rakestraw, Jalen Knox. Jalen Knox is a speed guy, Tyreek Gillespie. But, we all line up. I'm taking it in 40. No doubt.
Yeah, so you brought up Ennis Rakestraw. He has a lot of hype around Mizzou. I think everybody knows Ennis Rakestraw out there, Mizzou football fans. Just speak about the true freshman, what he's brought as far as the new Zoo. He's one of I think he really kind of just set the momentum on the recruiting trail for Mizzou once he decided to choose Mizzou over Alabama and Texas, which was huge at the time because, we all know what Alabama is, and Texas is not really that good, but they do have a name and a brand. So just talk about a little bit about Ennis and what he does for your guys' program.
Ennis is a dog. Simple as that. Point blank, period. He don't speak much, but he brings energy. Like, once again, he's an undersized person in his position like me. I'm an undersized as a receiver. He's undersized as a DB. But Ennis, don't matter who you is, you line up, Ennis is going to try to take you to that sideline, put you to the dirt, or he's going to lock you up, one of the two. So his energy, him and Jarvis Ware on the outskirts, just both of their energies is similar. They talk, they keep it going. But Ennis brings energy to that defense just by him being younger. So everybody, he got people to look up to. Once again, Bled, Tyree, Nick Bowden, he got people to look up to. But him being so young, playing on the island in the best conference in the college football, he doing what he needs to do. But him just picking Mizzou, I think it was a good pick. I'm glad to have him here. He a blessing.
Kind of on a similar track, I just kind of want to know what it's like to share the locker room, just been around Nick Bolton throughout this season. The player that he is. I just from one of his teammates, I want to know what you just have to say about him.
Nick's a leader. Everyone like which I see in like the media is actually him. No, he don't fake it. He don't stunt or do anything different. Nick works every day, even if he got hurting in the game, he's hurting in practice. He's gonna finish. He's gonna finish. That's one thing he don't do. And when Nick is out there lined up across you, you gonna know. So like, if it don't matter if he hit you, make a play, you gonna know he there. He stadium rocker, offensive nightmare. I like that. There it is. Yeah, offensive nightmare. He a different breed. That's an animal right there.
Yeah. Well, that's all I got for questions for Deontay. I think he'll stick around with us, Riley, and we can just run through the conference champion schedule. He can stick around and make predictions for some of these teams if we want to be bold.
Yeah, we'll do a little pick 'em with the conference championships this weekend.
Pick. Ooh.
So, do we want to start with the SEC championship?
We start with that one.
I think that one's an easy pick. Yeah, it's me at least.
I mean, that's definitely Alabama. Like I said, we talk about these guys every year with Devontae Smith. I don't know who's a better Smith, Deontay Smith or Devontae. Who you taking? But yeah, they had Devontae Smith and Mac Jones, and their offense is ridiculous. Florida, they do have Kyle Pitts coming back, so I think this game is going to be a lot more entertaining than what people think. But I think I'm taking Alabama. Who you taking?
Alabama. I'm taking in the speed ranking. Between Devontae Smith and me, I'm taking that too. Smith and Jalen Waddle. I like Jalen Knox and Deontay Smith. And 2-on-2, I like us over there.
I like that. I like that confidence. I'm going with Bama too. I think the final score could look a little bit like when we were in the SEC championship with Auburn. I think we lost something like 58-42. I think it's going to be high scoring, but Alabama might still win by a few scores.
Yeah.
You know what? I want to go on to the next one. Is Tulsa, Cincinnati. I want to know, Christian.
Oh my God.
What you think of Cincinnati to win this game?
We're not talking about Tulsa. We're not talking about Cincinnati. Nobody cares about Tulsa. Nobody knows their players.
Cincinnati by 40.
They play in a D2 conference. We have an SEC player in the building. We don't want to talk about Tulsa or Cincinnati. That's ridiculous. It doesn't matter who it is.
All right, who's winning, Christian? Who's winning the rematch in Clemson Notre Dame?
Clemson, Notre Dame. Give me Clemson. Clemson should have beat Notre Dame the first time. They were without the best player, Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence is by far the best player in college football. Notre Dame struggled to beat Clemson without their starting quarterback, but Clemson is going to beat Notre Dame by 2-3 touchdowns. Notre Dame is not that good. They're front runners. The last time we seen Notre Dame in the big game and the playoff or in the championship game, they played Alabama and lost 42-14. So give me Clemson easily in that game.
You taking Clemson too?
Take Clemson. I don't know. I feel like Notre Dame get the chance to actually see Trevor Lawrence. I mean, when you got the best of the best in front of you, you just play harder. I don't know. That'll be a good game. I might take Clemson because Trevor Lawrence is a different boy.
Yeah, I remember watching the playoff game last year between Ohio State and Clemson, and I saw that even when Lawrence wasn't putting up great numbers, he found a way to win that game, and he's the winner. And I think the difference in the first game is Clemson had their freshman quarterback, and Ian Book kind of has that edge to him where he's a winner too, but not at the same level as Lawrence.
Is not that good, Riley.
Listen. Let me finish my point.
Well, go ahead.
I think
Riley.
Ian Book kind of has that edge where he's a winner too, so he was able to beat Clemson with a true freshman quarterback, but he's not Trevor Lawrence. And like I said, Trevor Lawrence is a winner, and Notre Dame might be able to hang in there with them, but I think Clemson takes this one. But I expect to see both teams in the playoff if Notre Dame can keep it close enough.
Yeah, that'll be a good game.
Let's see. I don't even know if I want to talk about the Pac-12 championship because Washington can't even play in it.
You brought up Cincinnati versus Tulsa, but you won't talk about the Pac-12 championship game? I'm confused.
Because I like Cincinnati. USC is just going to beat up on Oregon.
Yeah, that is true. Oregon should even be in the Pac-12 championship game. They're filling in for Washington. It speaks to the joke the Pac-12 is. I don't know if they play football in the Pac-12 or if they just have a conference full of surfing and stuff. I mean, that conference ain't no school in the Pac-12 I can take serious. USC is really a joke. I know they're 5-0, but they haven't played nobody. Oregon's 3-2. Only good thing about Oregon is their uniforms and Nike. So I mean, I guess USC is going to win the game. I'm not really for sure.
Yeah, I think we could all agree with that one. I guess then we can go into Big 12, Oklahoma, Iowa State. Who do you guys have?
Give me Oklahoma, just off of the name. I know Iowa State has a better team and having a better year, but I think Oklahoma's been there, done that. They've been in 2 or 3 playoffs already. Give me Oklahoma.
I'm getting Oklahoma too, just off the name. They teams play better just because who they is. They ain't about to let Iowa State just walk over.
Yeah, my dad and I are actually talking about it tonight. Even though it's college basketball, a lot of teams just get scared when they play Kansas just because they have that name. Whether or not they're playing to their best game. So I understand, having the name Oklahoma could help, but I think just to be different and hopefully to make Christian mad, I'm gonna go Iowa State. They look pretty good. I think they can hang on in there. It depends on what kind of Spencer Rattler we're gonna get. As of late, he's looked really good. So I expect this one to be probably one of the closer conference championships. But I think Iowa State can pull out a close one. And that leaves the last big one we have is Northwestern Ohio State. Is there any chance for Northwestern?
Hell no. Northwestern ain't beating no Ohio State. Northwestern, the only thing good about Northwestern is the academics. I don't know how they ranked. They ain't really played nobody. The Big Ten's having a down year. You put Northwestern in the SEC East, they might not win more than 2 or 3 games with Mizzou's schedule. So give me Ohio State. And all the talk about Ohio State not being the top 4 team is ridiculous. Ohio State clearly is a top 4 team if you watch them this year. They got the second best player in the world in college football in Justin Fields. So give me Ohio State by about 3 touchdowns.
They're gonna blow them out. Who? Iowa State versus who?
That's what I'm saying. He don't know who they playing.
I'm trying to we
Dang, yo.
Big Ten. We playing some team from the Big Ten, and it ain't gonna be Ohio State. And if it ain't Ohio State, then who? Big Ten.
Yeah. As much as I want Northwestern to pull an upset or even keep it close, I don't think they will. I mean, Ohio State's got to the playoffs and blown out some way better teams before, and they look, just as good as they have another year. So I expect Ohio State to win this one pretty handily. So I guess, Christian, that's all we have to talk about. Unless you want to talk about Louisiana, Coastal Carolina.
No, do not bring
Boise State, San Jose State.
No, we're not talking about those schools that are irrelevant. I don't care if Coastal Carolina was ranked number 6 in the country. We're not talking about Coastal Carolina.
All right. Well, then I guess
who they play?
You hear that? Who do they play?
So I guess the most important game of the weekend is Missouri, Mississippi State.
What's up?
MIZ. We all know who's gonna take that one.
Yeah. Mizzou shouldn't lose to that game. I mean, Mike Leach, I don't know what he's trying to do. As I say every week, I don't understand what Mississippi State's trying to do. They're like a Pac-12 school trying to invade the SEC with their style, throwing the ball 50 times, running the ball 6 times. They're not that good. Mizzou should win this game handily, but if we lose, it'll be quite depressing.
I want
airstrikes all game long.
Yeah, if they're throwing that much, I want Ennis to get his first pick. That's what I want.
Come on, we gonna get a pick. Somebody gonna get a pick. New style of defense, I ain't here to tell it. Offense, offense, we coming.
All right, well, we had our picks for the conference championship. I guess that's all we have today. Unless you got anything else you want to add, Christian. You always got something to say.
I got nothing to say.
Well, I guess then. Thank you for joining us today. I appreciate you coming on for the interview. So watch the conference championship this weekend. Watch Mizzou beat Mississippi State, and if you guys